Hey guys, Swamp Rat here, coming at you after all the Monday digs. How'd everybody enjoy all the shows today? Hopefully, everybody got to see them. Kicking it off with Shane Kubat, the blind treasure hunter, seeing what he found. We had, who did we have? Let me see. I got to pull my schedule up again. After him, we had metal detecting with Randy, and then you got to hang out with me here in the Swamp Rat Nation, see some of those new finds that I had. That end find on mine was probably one of my best finds, that Model T Ford hubcap. Then Practical Ken, Ohio River History. We dig it out in the Virgin Islands. Had an awesome time there. Looks like we got people showing up now. And then we had B. Higgles on that classic school. Man, the finds that he has at that school, just phenomenal. Then after that, we had the treasure extractors and Blackbeard J, and that brings us to here. Monday Digs Live. So I'm going to run through right here. I've already got a special guest here in the backstage getting ready to discuss with us a little bit about hunting the tot lots. Going to jump through, say hi to a few people. Looks like we have Gary's Metal Detecting here. We have We Dig It here. Plugs for Days. Hey, Plugsy. Oh, I'm freezing up. Frederick Romano. Hey, Frederick. Pond Magnet Fishing. Kathy. I always like to see Kathy hanging out. She's in everybody's stream. We've got Shane from Ohio River History, the godfather of hashtag Monday Digs. We got Lane Prater, B. Higgles, who we were just talking about his school. Man, if all of us had a school like that, rock and roll on the detecting. We've got Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting in here, another great channel. So it's really good to see everybody in here. You know, I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to dig right into this. I have a guest here. We'll bring him up right now. Everybody say hi to Gary from Gary's Metal Detecting. There we go. Now I got both of us up here, Gary.
Hi, Don.
Hey. So you've been kind of busy today, so you probably like me bouncing off, and I caught half of the channels. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch a bunch of people. But thanks for coming to the show today. You know, one of the things I wanted to talk about, a lot of people know my usual hunting style is I'm out in the woods hunting a homestead. And this week I wanted to give the homestead a rest. I've got some time. And I want to get out and do some tot lots or playgrounds. So you're the playground expert. So what are some of the things that would be unique to hunting a playground?
I mean, the best friend probably would be like something like Google Maps. I just drive to a city, I get on Google Maps, and I search for playgrounds, and I just go from one to the next one, and it's always worked for me. I just go from one to the next.
That's pretty much what I've already done. I looked up. I think I found 13 of them within a mile of my house. So I'm going to get out on the mountain bike and go hit them.
Nice. Because
anything particular with the? Oh, go ahead.
In the Google Maps, it'll show you how many miles each one is apart, so you can kind of decide if you want to go to that one or the other one.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Any particular detector that is better for playgrounds, do you think, or coils, or?
I like using the 6-inch sniper off the Equinox.
Okay.
My Equinox.
So you're running that the Equinox 800, right?
Yes, I have actually both. So with that 6-inch coil, you can get right up close to stuff. And then if you want to get closer, just pull your pinpointer out and drag it around in the bark or whatever you're working in.
So I'm guessing with my AT Pro, I got the 4.5. I just bought a 4.5-inch super sniper coil. I'm guessing that would probably be a good one for the Garrett people out there.
Yep, that would probably work excellent.
It looks like I'm going to my Legend gets in, the 6-inch is gonna probably be my go-to. I'll keep that Garrett around just for that kind of hunting, though.
Yeah.
Any other special gear that you would recommend to somebody going out?
Wear gloves. Definitely be wearing gloves all the time. Knee pads.
Good idea everywhere.
If you're wearing shorts, you better get some knee pads because that bark's hard on your knees.
I always wear shorts, so I better get some knee pads. Yeah. That might be a stop tomorrow. I might have to run out to Harbor Freight and see if they've got some contractors' knee pads for me.
Yeah.
I got a few other people coming in.
Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Plugs. Hello, Brian, Gene, Shane.
I see my buddy Scott from Oregon Family Magnet Fishing.
Hi, Scott.
Of course, Cynthia. Everybody loves Cynthia Swearingen. You know, I got to meet her this last month, so that was kind of a cool thing. I went up to Florida Hunt 8, and Cynthia was the first person I went out looking for at the meet and greet. I'm like, where is Cynthia Swearingen?
Yeah.
So
yeah, she seems like a very kind lady.
Yeah, she really is. She's awesome. So what's the best thing that you found on a playground tot lot?
Jewelry, rings. I haven't actually found a real gold ring. I found silver rings, but most of my gold rings and stuff like that I found in parks.
You got me on the rings because I haven't found a single ring.
Oh, you get there.
I'm still working on the rings.
You'll get there.
Hey, sapphire, diamond, pearls. Yeah, eat my hat. You can't have it. Somebody's in the chat after my hat now.
Yeah, I like your hat.
Everybody wants the hat. So does anybody have any questions from the chat about hunting tot lots? Somebody that maybe looking for getting out there? Oh, hey, Mike from 907. How you doing? 907 Outdoor Adventures, one of my other Kratos brothers for magnet fishing.
Hello, Mike.
I don't see anybody asking any questions.
Oh, they're probably socializing still.
I guess everybody knows how to hunt tot lots better than me. I did go out and practice a little bit. I've got one tot lot that's 3 houses down from my place, and I was just looking for it. I did have a find out there. I found about 350 and change, of course.
Yeah, they're always good for the coins.
So got to add to my clad collection, and my clad collection is usually not very big. Hunting out in the woods. Not many people are losing money out in the woods.
No.
At least nothing new like that. You know, I found my older coins out there. I do not know where I put that box. I've got a box around here somewhere. I found 2 necklaces that were cross necklaces.
Yeah.
While I was just down the street, and that was a playground that everybody told me, yeah, it's already been hunted out. There's nobody, you're not going to find anything.
Yeah. Scott had a question about a pricing on an Equinox. I think they're between $800 and $1,000 depending on who you buy them from.
Yeah, the Nox is an expensive machine I wouldn't recommend a Nox 800, I don't think, for a beginner. But what's the difference between an Equinox 600 and an Equinox 800?
One has more tones. It's the same tones, but more tones, and all kind. It's like doubled up. And there's a gold mode, and then they have the gold mode.
Gotcha.
I've never used the gold mode because I'm not prospecting yet. I probably will try it at some point. But.
I'll try it. Actually, I'm going to go out prospecting hopefully later this year. I got an invite from Adventures with Goat to go up to Colorado and go prospecting with him. So that'd be kind of fun. So it looks like everybody's saying, yeah, the gold mode is the biggest difference between the two. Yeah. Now, for an entry-level machine, if you're looking at Mind Lab, I would say that the Vanquish series might be the way to go. If you
Yeah.
don't need a waterproof machine,
It's a turn on and go.
right? And the Vanquish has the same electronics as my understanding is it's got pretty much the same electronics.
Yes, I
But you
believe it
just
has
go.
multi-frequency. I've never used one, but
You
I
know,
kind of I jumped up really fast from a cheap machine all the way up, and then been thinking about getting a more expensive one, but mine still goes beep really good, so probably going to
Yeah.
stay with it for a while.
Well, my AT Pro has worked. You know, that one I got for free. I found it was in the attic. It was my fiance's late husband's machine, and he never used it.
Mhm.
So I took that thing out, and you know,
Hello,
I've had
Tom.
a great time with it. Oh, hey, Tom Riley and Lane Prater. See,
Hello,
Lane
Lane.
has the Vanquish 440.
Yeah,
How do you like your? Well, obviously you love your 440. I know. I know Squeak from Digging It with Squeak. She was swinging a 440 Vanquish for quite a
yeah.
while. I was really tempted to go with the Vanquish 540 or the what was the other one? I was even looking at the Simplex, but
The Simplex. I had a Simplex.
as I was looking at them, I went. That was my big reason for going to the Florida Hunt 8 was I knew that the dealers were going to be there.
Yeah.
And I wanted to test out different machines. The problem with my AT Pro is that my deep brain stimulator implants in my head and in my chest shoot off electrical frequencies, and they just happen to correspond with frequency 3 and 4 on the AT Pro.
Wow. Huh.
Which means where people are getting interference from phone lines and stuff on a frequency, and they can turn it off until they're away from the frequency. Well, I'm carrying the frequency device with me all the time, and it's not like I can just shut it off. So it knocked my AT Pro from a 4 frequency machine to a 2 frequency machine permanently for me. So that was one of my main reasons for wanting to get away from the AT Pro. And the Nocta Macro Legend, just the size of it, the sheer size, being able to, it folds down to 2.5 or just over, it's 25 inches when it's completely collapsed in.
Yeah.
So it gets pretty small.
Yeah.
And the weight was crazy.
Yeah. I bought a collapsible shaft for my Equinox, both of my Equinox 600 and the 800. Goes down to about that same size, and then the coil will swivel over the side so it can lay flat.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and that would work great when I'm out riding the mountain bikes. When I've got those 4-wheel mountain bikes out, I've usually got a big tub in the back, and I throw all my gear in there.
Yeah,
I throw a small cooler in there.
Yeah.
So I needed something fairly compact for that. So that's really the main thing that I wanted to see is what are some of the things, particularly with hunting tot lots, which is going to be new for me this week. People will probably see a tot lot video next week from me. So
yeah,
it'll definitely be interesting.
I haven't found any great treasures in them, but I try to make it fun in my videos, so.
And treasure is what it is,
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about clad, and I think I've got enough here to buy a few tacos now.
There you go.
I think everything but the dollar bill came out of the ground. So,
yeah.
And I don't find that much clad really. So I'll go get me some tacos with that.
I mean, I've seen some people pull some nice stuff out of the tot lots. It's just not as much, seems like, as the big beaches and stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't talk to my older brother about tot lots and good finds. I think he
got a sunburn.
He was 2 feet off my brother was 2 feet off the tot lot up in Connecticut off of City Park when he just got his Knox 800. And he pulled a 1736 Spanish Real.
Wow.
out of a city park. It's like, yeah.
Hmm.
Has Gary ever used the Simplex Plus? Lane Prater was asking.
I think it's called a Simplex Plus, isn't it? I had one,
Oh, that's not the one
and
I wanted.
I wanted to get in the water at Lake Tahoe, so I got a Equinox. So,
I don't even know where that question went. Oh, there it is. I'm learning this live stuff. There we go. See, now it's right on there. So what's
okay, there we go.
so the Simplex and the Simplex Plus? I didn't know they were two different machines.
I didn't either. I went, got my Simplex, and then I sold it and got something else. So,
Oh, Simplex is waterproof?
is it? I don't know.
That's what Cynthia says.
I don't know. I was on a streak. I was buying, you know, more and more expensive ones, thinking I'm going to get somewhere, but they all go beep.
You do a me and you do that thing that everybody does where they go, you know
Yeah.
what? If I buy a more expensive machine,
I'll find better stuff.
if I get and when I'm magnet fishing, that's true. If I get a bigger magnet, I'm gonna find better stuff. And
Yeah.
there's some truth to that.
Yes.
But I think with a metal detector, usually we say we need a better machine because we're trying to talk somebody else into letting us buy it. Yeah. If we have to have permission. I was fortunate. My fiance asked, what metal detector do you want for your birthday? And I said, well, I've got to figure that out. And she goes, well, you pick which one you want and I'll get it for you. So
I didn't have to answer to anybody, so I was just throwing money at it.
Woo! Oh, cool. Well, did anybody else have any questions or what's that? Yeah, Plug says that the Equinox is a damn good machine for sure. And that's kind of the consensus that Minelab Equinox has kind of been the mainstay of metal detecting, particularly within the YouTube metal detecting community for a few years now. That's one of the things I'm curious what the Legend is going to do with that, since it's also a multi-frequency machine.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to stick with it for a while.
Yeah. Well, if I wasn't in the market for a new one, if Knocked Macro hadn't came out with that Legend, that's probably what I'd be swinging too. Probably a 600 because I'm not gold prospecting in Florida. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, Plugs does great with his. You see him pulling up silvers all the time.
Dan, a lot of that though is location. Location.
Yeah, where I'm at, it's pretty rural, and they had a club here, and it is just hunted. I mean, hunted. So the best probably park items I found was the King George 1911 coin, and then 1800 skeleton key.
Oh wow, that's on my bucket list. A skeleton key is definitely on my bucket list.
Yeah,
you know, I didn't even know that Ford Model T hubcap was supposed to be on my bucket list when I found it.
Yeah,
it's funny. I have no bucket list, and I keep finding things, and people go, well, "That's a bucket list," or I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll write that into my bucket list."
Yep. I was reading Rocky Mountains. My 25-year-old White still digs the same pull tabs as my new machine. Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's a good comment, Plugs. Location is parks where hundreds of other detectorists have been. Goes to show and tell you something. It really does.
Yeah.
People will say an area is hunted out. You know, I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. I've been detecting for 5 months now.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that people will say that an area is hunted out. You go on a different day where the weather's different. You bring a different machine than somebody else was swinging, and you're going to find different stuff. Different detectorists.
Yeah, I've got 6 months, I think, and I'm definitely not an expert, but different coils, weather. Yeah.
Same as the Knox. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely, Gene.
Yep. And that's one of the reasons why the Deus wasn't on my radar as a purchase. You know, the price just threw it out of the ballpark for me. And you know, the Knox was kind of the same way. It was just the price of it was more than I wanted to pay.
Knowing that machine.
When the girlfriend told me I don't care what the price is, then I started looking at the Knox, and then I tested the Legend, and I'm like, yeah, this is the one I want.
Yeah.
That's good too.
Yep. Knowing that machine. You know, I changed headphones, and I'm getting different tones from one set of headphones that are the cordless that come with it. And I have a pair of Grey Ghost, and it sounds a lot different. It's weird. It's hard to explain. It's different.
Are those cordless?
The Grey Ghosts are corded, so you can go in the water.
Oh, gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's key. Everybody's saying that. Know your machine. Know your machine.
Yeah.
And that's 100% true.
Hello, Gary. Did you find anything detecting? How you doing?
Hey, that's Gary, right? That's the other Gary.
That's the other Gary in California.
Yeah. He threw me off when he changed his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and we've got Jim Steele's actually saying something I just brought up. Detected 42 years and no location is ever hunted out. I mean, in theory, you could do it. If you go through every little square inch like I've been doing out at that homestead with the sifter, yeah, you might hunt it out eventually. But that's time consuming.
Yeah. There's still more stuff there every time I go to that same, because we only have 2 parks in this area. And I'm 100 miles from 2 different big cities, Reno, Nevada, and Redding, California.
Okay.
So it used to be a little logging town. And there's a couple parks here I go to, and I just call it the park that keeps giving, because every time I go back there, I do find something.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, and that's, you know, what you call treasure too makes a difference. A lot of people look at what I find, you know, with the ammunition, and they go, so what? You're finding head stamps. But I love finding head stamps. Yeah. They're my favorite thing to find.
It's all interesting. All of it. It's always, it's like adult Easter.
Yeah. And well, and for me, it's the history behind it. When I find a find and I don't know what it is, I get to go in and I get to research it. I get to try to find out, what is this thing? What is it?
Yep.
And
the history on it.
I learned more history. You know, I learned the history of Harriet Hubbard Ayers by one of my finds. She was she is late 1800s, early 1900s millionaire, and she made her fortune as the first cosmetic company in the United States. And I found a little teeny compact lid, and it had her monogram on it. So I went back and I looked it up and I researched it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just found out a piece of history I had no idea existed.
Yeah.
And that's where the fun is for me. And that's why I'm more of a relic hunter than anything else.
Sure. It makes it fun.
Yep.
I've been mostly in the tot lots because it's frozen everywhere around me, and I have to drive 3 hours to go detecting.
Yeah, and that's never fun.
And it's hard to just go 3 hours away and say, hey, can I hunt out your, park here? I don't want to jump in a park and get somebody mad at me. So
yeah, Gary, I'm going to throw the link in and see if anybody in the audience wants to come up, maybe show off some of their finds. We'll keep you there. You can comment on anybody's stuff that comes up here. But here's the link, guys, for StreamYard. If you want to come on up, say hi, share some of your finds. Gary and I would certainly love to see them.
Yeah, everything that I have is all packed up in boxes and in the garage.
Yeah. That's what in my house. That's what Gary just asked you. Are you moved already, Gary?
Yeah. I'm working on it.
He's not moved yet. He was having a heck of a time today.
Yeah, I was working on. Well, I was helping the plumber work on plumbing.
Oh,
So
the plumber should know how to do his job.
yeah, I try to help so they don't have to pay as much.
Does it work? Does that work?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, little small tight knit community here.
Gotcha.
Everybody
Yeah, they
knows
just look at
everybody.
me like I'm crazy and in the way.
Nah.
But I mean, most of the stuff I try to do everything myself, but more and more my fiance is saying, "No, you're not doing it."
Yeah.
I'm getting too old and broken to be.
Well, I was an electrician before I went to work where I went, and so I was able to do a lot of that stuff around here.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I'm kind of handy, but my career field before I retired, I was a cook, I was a chef, and I was a I worked life insurance on the claims side for 10 years after I decided I didn't want to be a cook anymore.
Yeah.
But that's where things like my swamp rat seasoning is from my cooking days.
Yeah.
Now I got to go down to Sam's Club and I've got to get all the seasoning to mix up a huge batch of it because everybody wants to buy it from me.
There you go. Probably tasty.
It's really good. I've got some beef jerky cooking up with it in the other room right now.
Nice.
So it's a Cajun seasoning that it took me a while to develop it and to get it just right. So
yeah. Hello, Jeffs.
We'll get it out there. We'll see if anybody really likes my Cajun seasoning. Everybody seems to like the jambalaya I make with it.
Yeah. I have a friend that lived in New Orleans and he moved here and he made jambalaya for me. That was so good. It was tasty.
Yeah. I love jambalaya. It's one of my favorite things to make. Ever since I was in the service, that was one of the first things I learned how to make really well. And one of my Louisiana relatives, I kind of got part of their recipe, and now it's like, okay, now the recipe's mine.
Yeah. Now you own it.
Yep. All right, Gene. We'll see you later. Gene's heading out.
Gene.
Got to get up early. Yeah. Got to get up early and go detecting on that farm or out on the beach. That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah. Hello, Jeff's Obsessions.
Hi, Jeff. I didn't see anybody say they wanted to come up and share what they found this week. What the heck?
No takers.
No takers on that one. I don't know if I've got any of my cool finds sitting around here. Yeah, I do. I've got boxes of them. Let's see what I got. Nothing cool from today, but
I literally, most of the tot lot stuff goes to my 5-year-old niece. I give her, she's spoiled. She has Hot Wheels and little rings and necklaces and bracelets.
See, and that's awesome. You've got a place for it to go.
Yeah.
All right, I got a whole bucket of stuff here. Here's a good one. I don't even know what this is. This is my bucket of stuff that I haven't cleaned up. Most of it I thought was kind of junky, so I haven't really gone through it well. But this one I just found right on the top, and I have no idea what this is. Looks like a lid to something. Oh, that's not very good light.
There you go.
It looks like it's lined on the inside.
Almost like a snakeskin pattern.
Yeah, but it's got a rim all the way around it. So it kind of looks like it might have been a lid to something. Glass, of course. I find glass out there at the homestead all the time. This one looks like it's not a completely hand poured one.
Yeah.
There is a mold line, but the glass is pink. And the bottom is a hand pour pattern. So what they did was they molded the outside of it, whatever this was, when it was complete, and then they just dipped it to dipped and swirled to get a bottom for it.
Interesting.
You can see some weird imperfections in that. I got to spend some time at the Museum of Glass up in Seattle or in Tacoma when I was up there a couple years ago. Let's see. That's mostly wire. Wire, pull tabs. I try to organize my stuff. That's all glass. This is why you always wear gloves everywhere you hunt.
Yep. I started out not wearing gloves, and I was like, I'm going to start wearing gloves. It's so much nicer to have your hands nice and basically clean at the end of the day.
I haven't cut myself yet. I do like being able to feel stuff.
Yeah.
But that one was
at a beach. I don't usually wear gloves.
There's an interesting one. This was out at the homestead too. It's obviously a tool of some kind.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe a yard rake.
Huh. It seems like every park I go to, if I hunt it long enough, I find railroad spikes.
Yeah, I haven't found any spikes detecting yet. I found plenty of them with the magnet. That's glass.
See you later, Brian.
All right, we're gonna look in this baggie because I have not looked in this baggie yet. Oh, there's a find. I think I found this in a park. And I found this in the parking lot out about a mile north of where the homestead location. I have to park about a mile away. And this little guy was sitting on the ground. Like obviously a little kid was out there playing with his ants or had them in his pocket.
Do they still have ant farms for kids?
I have no idea.
I remember ant farms.
What this one is
was saying that the bounty hunter is a pretty good machine for a starter also.
Yeah, bounty hunter, I think I've had one before when I was quite a bit younger. Oh, there's a find from out at the homestead that hasn't come out of my box yet. I'm sure it's in one of my videos, but this is the second one of these I've found out at the homestead.
Is that a shaving? No, that's a pocket knife.
That's a pocket knife.
Yeah.
It looked like it had two blades on it. There's still one blade stuck in there, but it'll never cut again. So,
no.
But that was a cool find. What else do I have? I love sharing. Sharing things is fun. That's part of a plate. Little bit of Cheney, as the Wootons call it.
Yeah.
And Dana says that yes, ant farms are still around.
Oh, okay, cool. I remember those.
That's okay. I'm gonna start selling Bago glass to kids. I'll bet I get in trouble for it. But yeah, most of this bag is ammunition. This was all from one hunt.
Yeah.
And most of the bag is...
My last tot lot, I believe it was the last one, had so many 223 round shells and 45s and some 9s mixed into the bark chips. All I can think is there was a range near maybe where they were using a chipper and they just threw it in the load.
Oh, there's a bullet that I should have put, or casing I should have pulled out of that. Let's see. This right here is a 30 caliber.
Uh-huh.
And with what I can tell at a distance, I'm going to have to look at it under my magnifying glass. I got a little magnifying glass right there that just clips onto my desk. So this one's a military round, and you can tell they're military by what's written on the inside of them.
Yeah.
This one it'll have the manufacturer's name on the top. So this is Western Cartridge Company. It has WCC written on it. And then down on the bottom of that, underneath the primer, you have a 2-digit stamp that's actually the date stamp.
Okay.
So I'm seeing, and that really fits too. So that's 30 caliber carbine manufactured by Western Cartridge Company in 1943.
Interesting.
So WCC is Western Cartridge, whereas WRA is Winchester Repeating Arms. And I found both of those out there.
They're pretty old, actually.
Yeah, it's the ammunition that I find out there is just incredible. There's an older one. I think that says 30 something on it. No, it can't. No. And this one, I'm not sure what the marking is. It says LC on it. So whatever LC, some L cartridge, but it's a 53. And that's the same size round, 30 caliber carbine. It's what the M1 carbine shot does. And I find those all the time. I've actually got one of them that was a drop. Where?
Oh, it's still unfired?
Yep. It's an unfired drop round.
I found 2 Mauser rounds that weren't fired. And I had a friend that had the 43. I think it was the 43 rifle. He's not going to put them in his rifle, but
right.
He was pretty grateful to have those. I gave them away.
Here's a 300 Savage round, missing the top.
That'd do some damage.
Yeah, I have one round that I found that's probably 30-30. Yeah. Federal cartridge, 30-30 Winchester. It's missing the top piece of it. That's typically, I find them broken at the top. Wait a minute. Now we're talking shovels. Yeah. All right. So
something about waterproof too, or something. Oh, headphones probably.
Yeah, I was just completely off topic. Looking at my cool finds, and I could like sit there and go through buckets of stuff all day long.
Yeah.
But we have been on for about 40 minutes. I don't know how many people are in here. I can't even see that. Oh, there's 7 people in here. So we got Dana and Cynthia. I think we're gonna call this quits. We kind of did what we planned on doing. I certainly appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate you taking time out, Gary,
yeah, no problem,
to come and chat for a little bit. I know it's been a rough day for you. We weren't quite sure if you were gonna make it or not, but awesome to have had you here and
very busy.
Get to talk to you a little bit. We'll definitely do this again. Hopefully, after you get moved, we'll be able to meet up. I'll come up your way to South Carolina, and we'll do some hunting up there.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna let you go.
All right, bye everybody. Thanks for having me on tonight.
You're welcome.
All right,
let's see if I can figure out how to do this. All right, guys. So that was Gary from Gary's Metal Detecting. Or Metal Detecting with Gary. I can't remember. I'm always getting things backwards. I'm bad. Y'all know that about me already. Gary's Metal Detecting. See, I knew I had it right. But I wanted to thank everybody for coming out. You know, I know it's late night. Everybody's got to get up, either go to work in the morning, get out there and metal detect. You know, I'm looking forward to probably sticking around the house tomorrow, get a few things done, get ready for the week. I've got some exciting plans for hitting the tot lots. I got 14 of them within a mile of me. So I'm going to take what I learned from Gary and get out there, really find some good stuff. In addition, while I was out detecting today, I ended up getting a new permission at a convenience store. Convenience store has been there for probably since the 20s. It was one of the only stores in the little town in Arcoosie where I live. So owner gave me permission to metal detect out there. The new owner, and he and I have kind of been just chit-chatting. So super excited to get out and look around the store out there. I'm sure I'll find plenty of modern clad in there. And then the last person I ran into before I came home came up and was talking to me because they lost their wedding ring. So they lost it in their yard doing landscaping. So I'll be out hitting that person's yard later in the week, see if I can't find their wedding ring and return it. If I do find that wedding ring, that may be my first ring find with my detector. So stay tuned. We'll definitely have that one up. Everybody, I appreciate you coming out. Love you guys. Get out there. Go swing those detectors. Find some good stuff and come on back and show us here at the Swamp Rat Nation. Night, guys.